Gentlemen, so what's up YouTube? It's CoolStoryBrobat with the 56th Narrated Wi-Fi Battle. This one's against a guy, man, off the Smogon battle finder named MICOOL. Like, MICOOL. Like, it's very cool outside, wouldn't you agree? But anyway, it's another UU battle like usual. And, three things on this guy's team instantly catch my notice. If you can guess what they are, I'll give you a cookie. 1. Rampardos. 2. Regice. 3. Uxier, however the heck you pronounce his name. The little purple, the little blue thing on the end right over there on the far right. Anyway, or is it yellow? Whatever, man. A yellow blue thing, whatever. Anyway, the thing with Rampardos is the highest attack stat in the whole game, but he's slow as death. And because of the fact he's so frail and vulnerable priority, it's not viable with UU. So it's got me wondering why he's using this thing. Like, is he using like Uxie to set up dual screens and Memento pass to it so he can set up Rock Polish and sweep? Or what? I mean, Regice is obviously just got a special wall with Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Thunder Wave, and I don't even know what the fourth move that thing runs is. Like Rest or something? I don't know. Raikou, huge threat in UU. Like, most teams run Rhyperior, Swampert, or Snorlax just to beat out Substitute Calm Mind Raikou. And if his team is using that thing, I need Swampert alive no matter what. Flygon probably has Choice Scarfer. Suicune probably has Calm Mind, Rest, Scald, Sleep Talk, blah blah blah. And Uxie probably sets up Stealth Rock or uses dual screens and Memento. Either way, we're gonna figure it out. So let's get into this, man. So we starting off the battle and such. I lead off with my Wheaties, Swampert, Breakfast of Champions, because honestly I was not sure what to go with against this guy's team. And he leads straight off with Rampardos, which catches me off guard a little bit. He goes straight for the superpower. I'm like, wait, what? What are you doing? Hold up, G. Did this dude just superpower me? And then I notice my health is going down. I'm like, what? He gets the first turn critical hit as I'm setting up Stealth Rock. I'm like, oh crap. Because, like I said, I need Swampert alive if I'm going to be able to counter his Raikou. And so much for that. He gets 2 critical hits in a row, even though the second one didn't matter worth a lick. Oh man. So it's not looking good so far. So I send out Brobaline because I need to revenge kill this thing as quickly as possible. And the only safe switching he has to this guy is Uxie, and that's provided I don't set up on it. So I just go straight for the close combat, and go figure, I get a critical hit back in return. Because you know what, screw you Rampardos. I'm actually surprised it wasn't Focus Sashed. But the fact that thing got that crit on me was pretty crucial. It was pretty important. Now, I switch out Brobaline here because of the fact that I'm -1 from the close combat, so Thunderbolt actually would have killed me off, and I was not trying to take that risk. Even if I close combated when he went for the substitute, I could have broke his sub, I would have been at -2, and he could have just freely Thunderbolted knowing I would have had to switch or set up another one. It just would have been on and on until I lost my Cobaline, basically. So I didn't want to play those games with it, so I switched out in the Roserade hoping he would go for the Thunderbolt, but unfortunately he went straight for the sub, so I'm switching in Oven Mitts here because I'm Scarfed Rotom, Modest. And as he goes for a Calm Mind, I go straight for the Overheat to break his substitute because this thing is a huge threat and I really had to play my cards perfectly in order to beat this thing out without Swampert, straight up. I'm not even kidding. So he's Calm Minded after I overheated and broke his sub. I know he's going to go for the substitute again, so I make possibly the biggest gamble I can. I send out my Brobat, I send out myself as he goes for the substitute again, and crossing my fingers, hoping that you know, the EV spread I run on this Crobat helps, because I run max attack on this thing with Jolly Nature, unlike the standard Stall Breaker set. I use Brave Bat, and go figure the Brave Bat breaks his substitute. He Thunderbolts my Brobat and kills it off, obviously. It was a worthwhile sacrifice, because this is probably the most detrimental play I could have made right here. Honestly, that play was so valuable, you have no idea. There was nothing else I could have done, nothing else on my team outspeeds Raikou. So I switch in my Oven Mitts, of course, and this time I go for the trick because I want to cripple this thing. I want to make sure it's unable to set up any further and it's unable to do anything. He goes for the Thunderbolt, which he's now locked into because I tricked him with Choice Scarf off my Rotom. And now it's basically I got his leftovers. He's locked in using Thunderbolt, so I can freely switch up against him now. And I go straight into my Rosetta Stone because she's specially defensive Roserade. She resists Thunderbolt. You know, it's easy. It's pretty simple. I'm not worried about it. Look, that barely did like a third to me, and Black Sludge is just healing it back off. I'm straight right now. So he withdraws it because he has to. sends in his Regice, and I go for the Leech Seed because I want to mess up his switches so that no matter what he switches in, I'm not going to be having much of a problem with it. I'm actually glad he didn't switch in Flygon, because if he switched in Flygon, I wouldn't have had as many safe switch-ins to it. My only switch-in would have been Blastoise, and even then, I don't know. You know, there would have been a lot more pressure if he switched in Flygon, to be straight up with you. But I hit him with the Leech Seed, and now I'm going for Spikes because I know this guy's either going to Thunder Wave or Ice Beam me. He Thunder Waves me, you know, I'm specially defensive Rose Raid. I know I can take an Ice Beam from a non-offensive Regice, even if it is stab and super effective. It doesn't matter. And I got the Leech Seed up, so I'm getting a lot of health back each turn. So I'm just setting up my Spikes, man. Getting my hazards up. Doing my job, you know, straight up. I mean, he does the Ice Beam. It would be a 2-hit KO, but I got Black Sludge and Leech Seed stealing health back every single turn. So really, it's in my favor right now. I know he's going to have to try to Ice Beam again and probably go for the potential 3-hit KO, but I'm not going to let him because, look, after I set up this next layer of, after I set up that second layer of Spikes, he's going to Ice Beam again. And instead of going for a third layer and letting Rosetta Stone die, I pray that I don't get paralyzed and I just go for Rest. Because of the fact that I now go for Rest, I basically got rid of the paralysis status. The paralysis didn't even matter because I got Natural Cure. He probably thought I was going to switch when he went for Thunder Wave earlier, but because of the fact that I rested up, basically I'm at full health. His Regice is at like 50% now. I can switch back out into the Gun Show and just threaten this thing now. He actually withdraws it, which surprises me, and he switches in his Uxie. And I'm like, okay, what's this guy gonna do? What's he got? He has the Light Screen, and it actually surprises me he didn't lead off with this thing earlier. Cause you know that's what threw me off, is the fact he didn't lead off with it. Because usually most hyper offense teams that use Uxie with dual screens and Memento usually lead off with it. But whatever. So after he sets up both his screens, I go for Roar, just to you know, I don't even know. I thought he was gonna U-turn after setting up one screen because of the fact that my only physical attacker is Cobaline. I thought that's what he would have done, but hey, it's whatever, man. I'm not worried about it. You know, I thought he would have U-turned or Memento. Memento wouldn't really matter against me in this situation right now. But so he switches in his Regice as I go for the Sklat, and I get the burn off on him. Go figure. He doesn't die because he has massive special defense and Light Screen. So this is probably the only time you're ever gonna see Hot Water not instantly destroy a big chunk of ice. I don't know. I'm trying to be comically amusing here, but yeah, because of Light Screen, he survives the Sklat, and he actually hits me with the surprise Thunderbolt. You know, he's got that Tundra Bolt coverage going on, that Ice Beam and Thunderbolt. You know what I mean? That good coverage. But I go for the Roar on him because I don't want to let his Regice die off so he can have the switch advantage. I want to force it so that Regice is basically death fodder, because if he switches it back in, it dies to hazards now. So that's basically the whole reason why I went for Roar. And he switches out his Suicune, and what do you know? He death fodders it, just like I said. So, yeah. I'm paralyzed anyway. I was going for Toxic on his Suicune, but unfortunately, you know, I'm paralyzed. It wouldn't matter anyway because he switched it out and nothing would have happened. So he has his Flag on here, and this thing is a big threat depending on which move he goes for. Blastoise was probably the best Pokemon he could have brought this in on, for me. Because I know Blastoise could have survived any move, and I'm pretty positive it wasn't Choice Banded. And based on the damage output, it definitely was not Choice Band Flygon. So I know he's scarfed, and because he's locked in the Outrage and burnt from the Sklat, lucky me, I can just switch out into Cobaline here, sponge his Outrages, and freely set up on whatever he tries to switch in on me. So yeah, that was a good positive for me. That's definitely a plus. And I know he's gonna go to Uxie, so I just set up the Swords Dance as he switches out. Like I said, I predicted it. He switched out to Uxie. I'm setting up the SDs, and I carry X Scissors, so I'm gonna be able to do a big chunk to him, even if he has Reflect up, because Reflect's gonna wear off this next turn after Light Screen goes down, which it just did. So go for the X Scissor. You know, it doesn't matter what he does to me now. It does not matter what he does to me. He goes for the Light Screen, sets it back up, and now his Reflect is about to go down. So he's vulnerable from the physical side, and he can't take another X Scissor, especially not at +2. But in case he tries to switch into something capitalizing on me using a weaker move, I go straight for the Iron Head, because I know he's not going to live that either. So yeah, he switches in his Raikou here, and this might seem like a risky play to try to stay in, but here's the thing. I'm almost at full health. I'm a healthy Cobaline. Cobaline's got some pretty decent bulk, you know. I knew that a timid Raikou could only 2-hit KO this Cobalion at near full HP without even Stealth Rock or hazard damage of any kind. So I just stay in, go for the close combat, know I'm going to survive it. And he switches in his Flygon, I'm not worried about it. I switch in my Rotom, predicting him to go for the Earthquake. You know, even if he went for Outrage, it's not doing anything to me because he's burned. Basically, his Flygon is like straight up useless. He goes for the Fire Blast, which is like, what? LOL. I guess, I don't know, I mean, I guess it's a good way to get past Bronze Zone, but I mean, Flygon would really rather just have teammates spamming Fire Blast for him rather than doing it himself if he's not using a straight up physical set. Like, Mixed Flygon is not too good in this meta game, to be honest. And, you know, he's just sitting here spamming Fire Blast on me, and I'm actually, this might seem retarded, but I'm actually just spamming Volt Switch. Like, I'm waiting for him to switch into Suicune or whatever. I'm just sitting here waiting. I mean, I could have killed him with Hidden Power Grass, and we could have been done with it. And it's not like I'm even choiced either. But, whatever, man. I'm just gonna let this thing die out from the burn just because. I mean, my win condition is pretty much sealed right now. Even if Rotom dies, I still have Roserade, who beats Suicune one-on-one simply because it carries Leech Seed. So, there's that also. And basically, here it is. I'm actually surprised on this turn because I outspeed his Suicune, even though I'm modest. But I guess he's straight up physically defensive. So, I hit him with the Volt Switch, KO his Suicune from like less than half health, and that's pretty much it. Good game, MICOOL. It was a pretty entertaining game. That's possibly one of my favorite performances simply because of the fact that I saw something that threatened my team and played perfectly against it and managed to beat it out in the long run, and that's what I'm glad about. You know, that's the main thing I'm glad about, because honestly, if I did not make that play with Brobat, who is the unsung hero of this battle, who technically won me this whole thing because it broke his sub, if I did not make that play, I would have been swept. Honestly, I would have been swept. Raikou outspeeds everything on my team other than Brobat and Rotom because of the Scarf. So, yeah. Because of that, I fortunately managed to pull it off and I managed to win. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, favorite. I'm out of here. Have a good day, y'all.